Good morning, everybody. Cheers. Lovely, lovely. Second coffee for the day already. I think I need to get some more uplifting music to start the stream. As much as I like that music, it's really dark and sinister, isn't it? Maybe a bit more uplifting? What do you think?
Geek says, greetings, mortals.
Greetings, Quixotic Geek. You see? So far, it's working. Oh, I shouldn't have said anything. Sorry about my slurping. So, you know it's going to be a good stream when there's only 2-second latency between...
Christian Iverson says nuclear farts.
Says what? Oh, nuclear farts. What? And what are you doing awake? Go to sleep. You've been awake all day, haven't you? Didn't expect to see you. How is everyone doing? Sorry about last week. I can't remember what last week was. I didn't stream last week, did I? Did I stream last week? Oh my god. I don't even remember. It's been pretty crazy. Yeah. Volume's fine. Good. I'm glad. Lag. There shouldn't be any lag. Well, OBS is showing me no lag. Oh, awesome. Austin? Good to hear. Ooh, chat is filling up faster than I thought it would. So, I actually didn't expect many people would be here today. A few people in Discord said they weren't joining or couldn't join. And I don't know if anyone's even interested in this topic or not. Big jet lag. Who's jet lagged? Stream lagged. What? Wow, even SDG Electronics is here. Promised us it would be even more is awesome to make up for the lack of stream last week. Did I? No, there's no way I would have committed to something like that. I spend all day Tuesday, I spend trying to work out what I'm going to do in my stream on Wednesday. It's all week leading up, I have good intentions of what I'm going to do, and then nothing falls into place, ever. No worries, Christian. Thanks for saying hi. Go to sleep. Have a good sleep. Maybe we'll catch you next time. And here's YouTube telling me that now would be a good time to insert ads. Really? Big blue box right in front of my streaming deck, like streaming software. No, my streams are on Wednesday. I can't blame me if you lived in the past, really. Seriously. 4:30 AM. What? Goodbye, Sam. Wow, that wasn't supposed to happen. Did everyone hear that? That was Sam saying hello. Yeah, I've been tinkering on Sam again. I haven't had a lot of time to spend on Sam, but I've been tinkering. Okay, it's Tuesday everywhere except for in Australia. That's fine. It was unexpected. That was, yeah, that actually shouldn't have happened. Well, it should have happened, but
Geek says hello, Sam.
Yeah, I've turned Sam off, so that he won't keep interrupting. Okay, let's start off by going through and saying hi to folks in chat before it gets too out of control. Alan, good morning. Andy, hello. Henrik, Beata, hi. Dutch Taurus. Gerald42, why did you say hello backwards? I can't even... Ole? How do you even say that? I don't know. Michael, what are you doing up so early, Michael? That is crazy. Hope you're feeling better. Dishipu, hello. Graham, good morning. Also up too early. 6 degrees this morning, folks, when I got up. 6 degrees, which for Melbourne is pretty cold. I know it's not for some other places, but yeah. Rota, hello. And Christian's already gone, but hi, bye Christian. Dutch Maker, hello. Andrew Fraser. Dave Harris, hello. Quixotic, already said hello to, but again. Jeremy, hi. Life and Cycling, hello. Christopher, hello. Didier, hi. Tony, hello Tony. How you doing? Sid, hi Sid. Quindor, hello. David Esser. Oh, keeps jumping around. Steve, hi. Rob, hello. Yep, it's gone all the way. Chloe, hello. Blam. Bruce, hi Bruce. Just progressing through Solo. Solo was great, really good. Not quite the book, but still very, very good. Very good TV, I think. Kevin, hello Kevin. Just boring rain. Yeah, it's been wet and cold here. Unusually so for Melbourne. But whatever. I mean, it is winter after all, but it's been a cold winter for us. I think, no, Ray, have I got everyone? Christian Hortoland, hello, bonjour. Okay, if I've missed anyone, I apologise. Reed, I'm going backwards now. Hello, Reed. Andy Day, hello. See, it jumps all over the place. Matt Ticky, still going backwards. Johnny, oh my God, how did I miss Johnny? Did I miss Johnny? I think I missed Johnny. And Austin, hello. Already said hi to Austin, but Austin, yeah, okay, I've got everyone now. I hope. Beata's still in mink, as in wearing a mink coat. Okay, maybe. Is that a tank behind you or a battery pack? Okay, I don't know how to pronounce this. Oh, how do I pronounce this? Asbjorn? I don't know. I apologize. Butchered your name, but hello, welcome. It is a tank base. It's a tank base that I bought. So I bought this. I bought this before I even started streaming. Years ago. I got it right? No way! No way. I won't remember it for next time. I'll ask you the same question again next time. And I was going to do something with it. My plan was to build a little thing that drove around my house. And of course, that was way beyond my skill set when I bought it. And also didn't realize just how quite shit it was, what I actually bought. It's got a couple of DC motors in here. And that's it. And just some wires and a switch that is absolutely no way capable of driving enough current to these motors, and spots for batteries at the back, but no connectors for the batteries. Like it was, I don't know, I think I bought it off AliExpress. I got a bit carried away when I first started, and I found it in a box after I shifted in here, and I thought to myself, I want to do something with this, and then it went back in the box, and a year later, I've been here for a year now, and anyway, I found it again when I was tidying up downstairs, so I've stuck it on my thing here, so I see it, and maybe one day I'll do something with it. I just don't know what. It's pretty crappy, I think. But also, I don't know how I would go about driving these motors in two directions. Because otherwise, well, you can kind of turn if you only have one go and not the other. But I don't know how well that would work. Because this construction is pretty poor. I don't think one set of wheels turning is going to be enough to turn it. Right, but I have to use something like a H-bridge or something, which means I'm going to have to put some, like, yeah, get a dual H-bridge motor driver set up. I need to look up, yeah. I'm sure that there are things ready to go with it. I just have to find something. So it's a project for another time, but then I got to work out how do I want to drive it. Maybe a Raspberry Pi with a camera. Have it move boards around the factory. Hey, Rat Madness, I don't think it would be that accurate, and I'm pretty sure, just by listening, it's going to be really noisy. Sorry, I don't know why I said that so loud. It's going to be really noisy and annoying. So I don't know. We'll see. But if I leave it here, maybe in 2 years' time, I'll get to it. You never know. Unlikely. Is there a feather wing that has dual H-bridge? Is there really? I know that there's a feather wing that has, they call them like their motor driver one. This is really just a PWM chip on there. But okay, I'll have a look. I'll have a look. Maybe I'll stick a Feather S3 on it. Take note, people who committed to 24 months. Alex, hey Alex. Oh, I'm going to live to regret that one. 24 months, that's not enough time for me. I need more time. More time. Okay, so should we do a quick update on things? 3D print another one. I don't want a 3D printer. Yeah, maybe I'll get that going. I'll see if I can just get that moving and see how loud and funky it is. Hello, Loki. Okay, so just a quick update before we get started. I designed a... okay, I've actually got my camera going today. Let's see if this works. There is going to be some screens under it, but let's move them out the way. So I finally got my camera set back up with my new setup here. I designed some carrier boards for my Tiny Pico Nano, and technically my Nano S3. Actually, I've got one over here. Ooh, I'll grab that too. Okay, and so this was really, let me just zoom in. Okay. It was really designed just as a reference board. I'm gonna, like the files will be open on GitHub for people who want to build a carrier board for a Nano, Tiny Pico Nano or a Nano S3. So that's a Tiny Pico Nano there. It's designed to just go on there, and then obviously you've got USB and you've got buttons and some other things just to break it all out for those that are prototyping or whatever, or want to use it as a reference board. But the other, I actually want to also use it for my Nano S3. Let's grab one. So there's my Nano S3, because I want to do some validating just of, I'm still validating Wi-Fi and the radio stuff on this. It's getting the radio, getting all of the stuff RF done in such a small space and leaving room for a CAN if needed is proving quite problematic. But anyway, I think I've got a final design, and so I've got another version of this board for the Nano S3 that's just got different pin numbers along it. It's the same board though, because these are drop-in compatible, these two boards. I should put them next to each other. They're fully drop-in compatible, right? Anyway, so I've done that. I need to just build one. I haven't got around to building it yet. So got that on the way. And the other thing I got in, which I haven't built yet, is what I hope is my final revision of my bling board. So I had to go to a 6-layer board. I mentioned this already on a previous... Did I mention on a previous stream? I can't remember if that or if it was just on a Patron video. I don't remember. But I had to go to a 6-layer board because I had to remove the mini module off the back. Let me just grab... Where is my other one? Right. So that was my previous version. The Nano S3 is ready to go. Hey Ryan, I just haven't released them yet. I've got a whole bunch made, but I'm still doing some more validation on the RF side, and so I've ordered some more routers. So okay, I'll quickly jump onto that and have 4 full HP. Okay, awesome. I'll have a look at that board. Okay, just quickly, I just want to go to the, so the way so you all know about my test jigs. I hope. So that's my test jig that actually tests my Nano S3. That's a Nano S3 adapter in there. And so the way I test my RF now is I have a, I'm not using SDR. That could be one way of doing it, but I've got an easier way, or I don't know. So down at the very end of the factory near the roller door, where my laser cutter is, I've got a Wi-Fi access point. So it's the furthest I can get away from my desk here, almost the furthest I can get from corner to corner of the factory. And it's downstairs, and there's a lot of interference in the way. And that's what my test jig connects to when it's testing my boards. And the problem with testing radio is that it's really dependent on, especially for Wi-Fi, it's dependent on what channel you're connecting to. So I'm assuming, I don't want to be telling everyone how to suck eggs. Wi-Fi is it's a frequency range, right? And so it's not just one, like, people think of it as 2.4 gigahertz or 2.45 gigahertz. Well, it's not. That's the center frequency of the Wi-Fi, but it's actually 2.412 to 2.48283. And that doesn't sound like much, but it actually is. And a Wi-Fi, the curve of your RF goes down and then up, right? And the down point is the most strength. And where that sits within that frequency range is where your best channel is. But if that curve is too narrow, then you can lose lower channels or higher channels. Or if that little, it's a peak, but it's a reverse, right? If that moves over a little bit to the left, approximately 11 to 13. Right, and like the ESP32, for instance, can't really access channel 12 or 13, but it can go all the way to 1. So what I normally do is I normally test channel 6, because it's a very widely used channel, and it's kind of in the middle. But I want to be able to test channel 1, 6, and 11. And to do that easily, without having to somehow have my test jig talk to some type of SDR system, which I think would be quite problematic, especially if I've got multiple jigs going at once, is I ordered 2 more of the same routers, and unfortunately they're really old on purpose. They're old TP-Link routers that they only do 2.4. They're pretty crappy, but they're really easy to manipulate, and I don't have them connected to the internet. So they're just sitting there just as test positions. Unfortunately, one of the eBay sellers cancelled and refunded my order of his one because he didn't want to sell it, I think it was faulty or something, didn't work. And I'm trying to find a third, because what I want to do is have 3 of them set up, one on channel 1, one on channel 6, and one on channel 11. And then during my test process, rather than just connecting to one channel, or occasionally I'll change what the channel is, I want it to connect and disconnect to all 3 channels during the test process so I can check the range. Now for my other boards, checking the center is fine. I know exactly what my bandwidth is on those boards, but because the Nano S3 is so small, the way the antenna works is it radiates off the ground plane, and that there is no, like, it's tiny. I mean, if you look how small the board is, right, compared to my finger, like, it's just, there's just not enough ground plane. Like, even okay, that's a tiny C6, but if you look at the tiny board, I mean, it's got almost double the ground area, which means it radiates more. This doesn't radiate as much, and so what I end up with is a narrower bandwidth, and which means it's really, really good on channel 6, for instance, but not so good on channel 1 and channel 11. That's an enormous finger. This isn't even, no, anyway, that was for you, Deshipu. Anyway, so I want to do some better testing of my Nano S3s before I let them in the wild. Because the other problem is, the second you stick it on a board, it's going to change the RF characteristics as well. And if it's hanging off the edge of the board, it won't be so bad. if it's sitting in the middle of a board, even if you've got ground clearance around it, it's going to radiate differently. And if it's going to hamper the RF, then that could be a problem. So I want to be confident in myself that I've got the best tuning I can get for a board this size for channel 1 to channel 11 before I ship them. So I've got a whole bunch made. I'm fairly confident they're okay. You almost missed it? Okay, well, I'm not going to do it again. So I just want to do a bit more testing. Otherwise, they're ready to go. How's that for a jump? So let's just go back to here for a second, and then we'll get on to the main event. So I had to get away from the module and go back to silicon on the board. For those that aren't aware, the reason is I want to have PS RAM on the board. So this is using an S3 module, a mini module, and the only mini module that Espressif make that has PS RAM, it's got 4 mega flash, 2 mega PS RAM, has a problem with it in that it's only rated, the chip is only rated for 60 degrees. And that's not enough. So normally their chips and their modules are rated for 85 degrees plus. 60 degrees is too low, and because this board gets quite warm. It gets warm because of the amount of electronics on the back, but it gets warm because of the 320 LEDs on the front. 320 RGB LEDs. So the only way I could get PS RAM on the board is to go back to bare silicon. By going to bare silicon, it allows me to have 8 mega flash and 8 mega PS RAM, which, you know, doubles the flash and quadruples the PS RAM. But I had to go back to bare silicon, which means I had to redesign the whole board, get an antenna in there and everything else. And the only way I could squeeze all that in, unfortunately, was a 6-layer board, because I pretty much can't use vias anywhere, or I can only use very few vias because this whole LED panel here is using vias for ground plane and for power distribution, and there is no, like, if you think about it, the chip is sitting on the back of these, there's just no place to route stuff. It was a real problem to route. With the mini module, I got that whole inside area there that I could route things through, but I can't do that here. Anyway, I did it. I haven't built one yet. I need to. The other thing I added to the board, which is I think might be cool. So this had no mounting ability. There was no mounting holes or anything. I have put little half notches on the board, if you can see, to allow for mounting, half edges for mounting for M2.5. So I need to build those, but yeah. Okay, so I think that's all that news out of the way. Might be something to look at a Microchip router. Reason you can control a lot more and via your test equipment and a bunch more, plus you only need 1, not 3. No, I need 3. I need 3 because I need each one on its own channel, because I could be testing 3 boards at once here. I can't have a test jig control a router and change it when another test jig is controlling that router, and then it's overriding. Like, that makes sense? Like, I need to be able to whack any type of board in at any stage in any of my test jigs and test them, and not have to worry about, is one test jig controlling the Microtech router or SDR setup or whatever. Like, I can't. So, and honestly, they're like $15 each. I mean, these are really old routers. They're useless for anything, but they're great for test jigs. So, yeah, this is the cheapest and easiest way to go. Thanks, Freakalicious. They are slick. I just wish they were done already. Anyway, instead of Microtech, which would be problematic for so many reasons, you could just... No, see, this thing, I can't change the channels with SSH. I can't, because what's if one test jig, it changes it to 11, and then the other test jig goes and changes it to 6 before the first one's finished testing. I don't want to be stuck testing one board at a time on one test jig at a time. Trust me, this is the way to do it. 3 routers, done. 3 routers, fixed, on 3 different channels, done. Channel 1 router is always channel 1. Multiple things connect to it whenever it needs to. Channel 6 and channel 11. Hey, DIY. Did I miss anything back? I'm hoping to try to make my own smartwatch using a tiny Nano S3 similar to the old Pebble smartwatch. Cool, okay. Interesting. So, okay, which takes us to what today is all about, which is screens, but screens for a watch. So, I've been wanting to also design a watch, hey Peter, for a long time. But I don't think any of the expressive chips make much sense in a watch, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I can get some fancy router that has 3 different antennas that can be on 3 different channels, I guess. That's going to cost me hundreds and hundreds of dollars, or I can just get 3. Well, I've already got 1. I've now got 2. 1's coming. So I just need to find a 3rd one. I found one guy that wants $160 for it. Tell him he's dreaming. A WNR 3800s I'm using. Had a lot of apps for testing at one point. Something similar. Was testing some. Okay, getting distracted. So, yeah, I've been wanting to design a watch for ages, but the original ESP32 is just too power hungry, and Bluetooth 4, and it's got its issues. The S2 doesn't have Bluetooth, and I think not having Bluetooth on a watch is a bit silly. The C3, not a huge fan of it. A very limited chip. And the S3, again, is still too power hungry as far as I'm concerned. It's still, it's way overkill for a watch. And it's, yeah. And let's face it, it's not my, I shouldn't say it's not my favorite chip. I've said there's a lot of problems with the S3. But the ESP32-C6, I believe, is the game changer for this. Unfortunately, it's still got all the limitations of the C3. It's got really limited I/O. It's got no ability to have PSRAM, which means it's really hard to get a lot of stuff in memory for graphics and stuff. But it's got Wi-Fi 6, and Wi-Fi 6 means you've got better Wi-Fi range at less power consumption, and that to me is the thing that got me excited about now looking at designing a watch. So ages ago I started a design for a watch that my plan is to. Why did my comment not get through? Which one? The magic words to Google? What? Linux. Okay. Hey Max1220 by the way, but I don't know what that JCN Linux stuff is, or who that was pointed to. Who's landing with a plane? What? Hey Lucian. Okay. Hey Mitchell. Did I say hi to you, Mitchell? I don't know. Yeah, I know about the Linux port for the S3. It's still... Well, yeah. Sometimes happens to me as well. YouTube won't... if you put an emoji sometimes with your text, then you lose the text. Or, I don't know. Anyway. Audio had an aeroplane passing by. I didn't notice. Maybe. Anyway, okay. Distracted. So, I designed a watch ages ago, and I started designing 2 versions. One to use a capacitive touch screen, which was my preference, but finding a screen was a problem. And the other I designed, which I'd finished and was about to send off, that used a screen without touch, but I had to stick a whole bunch of buttons on, which I think would be a terrible experience for a smartwatch. considering that most people are now used to smartwatches like an Apple Watch or a Google Watch, whatever else, where you don't have to have 5 buttons on it. But the problem was sourcing a screen that I could get a lot of if I needed, and finding ones that actually had data sheets that made sense or whatever. So I kind of gave up on the touch stuff temporarily, and I finished off the non-touch one. And so the non-touch one that I did looks like this. No, it doesn't. It looks like this. So this is using a tiny C6. I called it Tiny Watch, just for why not. Actually, what I might do is go to 3D view. Might be easy to see. So it's using an ESP32-C6 with 4 mega flash, and it's got USB, and it's got lots of buttons, because it needs lots of buttons, right? You can't use the reset button for anything else. The boot button you need exposed if you ever need to get into bootloader mode, and then it can be a user button, and then there's 3 buttons on the other side. You need an up, a down, an enter. Not a great experience, I don't think. Anyway, it's got battery charging. It's got all that stuff. It's got, one of the buttons has to be a power on-off switch. You need to be able to turn it off. I think, anyway. So it's got a lot of, smarts in there, whatever else. And then on the back, there's a connector for a screen. And I was just going to use one of the curved, where did I put it? I actually put it away. Wow. I put something away, folks. Inconceivable. So I was just going to stick one of these on it. Oh, that's upside down. Anyway, I was just going to stick one of these on it. One of the round-edged, I think it's 240 by 280 screens. And which is pretty much the same kind of size type screen as my Apple Watch. Although not as high res. So I thought, okay, fine, maybe, and then I thought, you know what?
Geek says, anyone know where the real Cian went?
What? Where's... Oh, the Sion that doesn't put things away. Yeah. Sion's sick of tripping over things on the floor. Whoops, what happened then? Was that the clicking of the lid? I apologize. Sorry. Anyway, so I decided that what's the point of making this watch right now when it doesn't have touch, and the C6 isn't supported in anything other than the IDF, and you need version 5.1, and it's still not fully released. Chat got too loud. I didn't change the volume. Okay, I don't know what that was. I'll keep an eye on it. So I stopped working on it. And the other thing that I was chatting with my patrons about was, originally I was thinking about how would I make it OpenWatch compatible. There's another open source watch project that's using an ESP32. It's using a round screen, and it's all the code is in Platform IO, and so it would be forever until I could get something like that on a C6 working, because the C6 needs Arduino support first, which means it needs IDF 5.1 to come out, and then notoriously Espressif are 6 months behind on their Arduino support, and then notoriously Platform IO is 6 months behind on their support from the latest Arduino Espressif, you know what I mean? And suddenly it would be a year before you could write any code for the C6. But I still think it's the best chip for a watch. For my smartwatch, I went with an NRF. I have a power consumption of like less than 10 with BLE connection. Hey Jacob. Yeah, the problem with the NRF is you've got no Wi-Fi, and I think a watch without Wi-Fi, personally, is a pointless exercise. So it's great to have BLE and to have low power, but for me, I wouldn't want a watch that didn't have Wi-Fi, and so the ESP32 can't compare with power consumption of the NRF. So it's not it's irrelevant. Like it's way hungrier. That's not the point. The point is the C6 with Wi-Fi should be way less hungry than the S3 and other chips. You get network connection through the companion app over BLE. Right, I don't want to run a companion app. Thanks, but I want to be able to use Wi-Fi on my watch. That's what I want. So kudos to you for your project using NRF. Different things for different people, but for me, I want actual Wi-Fi on my watch. I want to have full connectivity on my watch without needing any form of companion app. So that's why I'm using an ESP32. And if STM or Nordic ever decide to come out with a chip that has Wi-Fi as well as Bluetooth, good on them. I'll absolutely look at it. But for now, they don't. So I much rather be using an ESP30. Well, I'd much rather have a chip from Espressive that was less power hungry and didn't have the other limitations that these chips have got. But this is what I've got. There is no other chip. The only option is an ESP32 of some form. So there are a lot of projects out there using an S3. I just don't think it's the right chip. I mean, it's the right chip in terms of it ticks every box that I have, except power consumption is just not great. Yeah, but Nordic are never going to do that, Reed. Hello, Stephen, by the way, if I haven't said hi, and hello, Jacob, if I haven't said hi. And anyone else I've missed, I apologize. Just like STM, you know, been rumors about a combo chip from them for ages, but I don't think it's going to happen, especially if we've got the market completely wrapped up in that space. There are other chips out there, other people who are trying, but nothing can really compete. Right, not on one chip yet, but they're years behind where Espressive are out with a combo chip, and putting them all in one chip is really difficult. So what about a good small screen with touchscreen, e-paper with horrible refresh rate? I don't want to do a touchscreen one. And again, there's people who've got projects using an e-paper. I don't want to do e-paper. I want to do a full color screen. There are little sharp LCD screens you can get with touch. Yeah, there are lots of watch projects out there already. Like I'm not saying anything I'm going to make is going to be better than anything else or is going to introduce anything that's new or unique. Like, that's not what it's about. But there's no point making the same watch as someone else is already making, right? Like, it's it's just a pointless exercise. Hey Charlie, I hope so, but they're way behind. I mean, you got to look at how many chips Espressive have released with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth now. They've got that part nailed. And, you know, when the C6 ships, which has got 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, they're going to be that much further ahead again. Okay, so they do have touch versions of that, and that's this one here. It's a very different beast, though. You know, it's, if you look at the thickness of it alone and stuff, I mean, it's more in line with what my watch is. Oops. So that's got touch on it, but they're also quite expensive compared to just buying a screen without one, right? And then, of course, there's the round one with touch. So I have screens here. I don't particularly like the round screens. I wouldn't wear a watch with a round screen. Like, to me, like, I just wouldn't do it. Ooh. Oh, that's just a screen on top. I wouldn't wear a round watch. I'm into this square face, so I'm not going to design, I don't think, a watch with a round screen when I wouldn't wear it. I'd like to design something that I would actually wear and use, although I have an Apple Watch. How much trouble with this S3 is software, and how much is hardware, especially with power management? It's just hardware. It's just a hungry chip. all ESP32s are hungry, especially with the radio on. With the radios on and transmitting, for instance, you know, you're talking about hundreds and hundreds of milliamps. And that just destroys the battery pretty quickly. Like, you can't just have your watch have Wi-Fi on all the time. Like, your battery would run out every hour. All right? So, that's a problem. And of course, you can turn Wi-Fi on and off as you need it, but that costs a spike of power every time you do that. Where the C6 has some new functionality where you can actually keep the radio in light modem mode, where the radio doesn't disconnect, but also only draws a very small amount of current. Not microamps, milliamps still, but not the same level that, for instance, the S3 does. Now, the S3 can go into light mode as well, but it's not Wi-Fi 6. So its cost of the radio in general is much higher. Yeah, no capitals, Andy, I think, all lowercase. Okay, I'm just going back and seeing what did I missed? Listen to add Wi-Fi to other chips. Resolution display, they're 240 by 280. Oh, this one, oops. That's 240 by 280, and I don't know what this resolution is actually. I've not looked. Look for screens from projects. It's frustrating that the ones I'm finding are mainly round. Yeah, there isn't a lot of, there's only one type of square with touch, and it's got to be cap touch. Okay, so I have another version of this board that is designed for cap touch, but I haven't made these boards yet because, again, even if I did, I'm stuck in IDF land. I don't know if I'd even be able to, if I even can find drivers for the screens. So, what my plan today is, though, is I need to connect, I want to connect, not at the same time, each one of these screens to a tiny S3 to prototype with. There's no point doing it to my tiny C6 because, again, no Arduino, no library support. So to do this, obviously there are different connectors, different drivers, but a while ago I bought some of these bigger screens when I was playing with some, that's a cap touch screen, that's a cap touch screen. This is for something else, and I thought, you know, that would be awesome for a watch. What do you reckon? Not really. But these came with these adapters, and well, I ordered them with the adapters, and these adapters have a 1-inch header at the back and a 0.5-inch header at the back that are broken out to header pins. So what's cool is these watches, sorry, these screens, not watches, these screens are 0.5 pitch, and I can basically put one in, actually it's going to have to go that way, put one in kind of anywhere along here, hopefully close it, and I should be able to just use those pins that's connected to there, connect this up to here, and be able to talk to the screen. I don't need to get custom connectors for these and then make custom PCBs to try them out. So that's what I'm going to attempt today, is to see if I can wire this up to a tiny C3 and see if I can get them working. What about using the touch pins of an ESP and arrange around the body of the watch like an encoder? Because it'll fire all the time, sticking on your arm. It'll be like, move my wrist, oh, touch, move my wrist, oh, touch. Yeah, that would be a terrible user experience, Stephen. In my opinion, anyway. No, it's not the 1.4, this is the 1.28. Charlie? 1.28? 1.26? Something like that, I think. I'm pretty sure. Well, that's what I ordered. with the touch on it as well. So both these have a touch chip. I don't know if they're the same chip or not. Who here had one of those calculator watches that came out in the 80s? Hey Chris, what are we smoking? Tantalum. Okay, so assuming that is the right way. Yeah, pins on the bottom. Thought I'd just double check. And pin 1 is at this end. So I'm hoping that I should have pin, I think, how many pins is that? Is it 18? Pin 1 to pin 18 should be good there. So I need to get some wires. I need to get the pin out for this. I need to hook it up and see if we can get something going. That is the plan. And then I want to see if I can get the touch working and see, yeah, I don't even know what chip it is. So what I need to do is
Cian, chatbot has disconnected.
ooh, okay. Jet disconnected. I don't know why. But let's go again. Okay. So this is the first screen. I'll just paste it here on AliExpress. This is the square one. You can be here or moving boxes. What? Hey, Rerun Trading. Yep, 16 likes, 86 concurrent viewers. No one likes me. Oh well, that's fine. Okay, so
Geek says good night, mortals.
good night, Quixotic Geek. Have a good sleep. So this is the screen. That's what I just linked to. So this should be the pinout. And it's interesting to see the way they number them. Really frustrating because there are only 18 pins on it. So they go 1 to 6, A3, A2, A whatever, but these are the pins here.
Intermittech says I am the chat, blasting through your speakers in dual stereo overdrive.
What are you drinking, Quindor? Is it doing stereo? What? Too loud? Hang on. What about now? Quit right now.
Intermittech says what about now? Unexpected Maker says hello folks.
Now it's normal. Okay, I just turned off the audio in OBS and turned it back on again. So it would have gone mute for a second and then it would have gone back and now it's kind of like the echo. Well, I don't know how it started. So if it happens again, that's really bizarre. I don't know why that did that. What graphics library I'm going to use? I'm going to use neither of those to start with. I'm just going to start with the Adafruit graphics library. I think, because it's just nice and easy. Configuring the TFT ESPI is a pain in the backside, and little VGL is just, yeah, too much work to get up and going to start with. So right now, I just want to get the screens going and get the touch driver working. So I need some wires to hook these up with my bag of wires. That'll do. Okay. You made a phablet, you can make a wablet. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with OBS, honestly. It's, I don't know whether it's just the Mac compatibility with the current version of Mac OS and the Apple Silicon. Who knows? I don't know. Okay, so we need to wire this up, and so 1 and 18 are ground, and 17 is power. So I've got, that is annoying that it's upside down. Let me see if I can fix this. Maybe oh, that's better. Look at that. Micro with a small screen would be a good bet for simple instruments that need to display parameters and status. Is it true that BLE is not supported in CircuitPython? No, not true. BLE is supported in CircuitPython, but not all of BLE. There are some things that BLE on the in CircuitPython functionality that comes from the NRF side that isn't compatible with the S3, but there is BLE, yes. Just not everything. Like, you can't go and take code for the NRF BLE and run that on the S3. MicroPython has a more of a standardized BLE set up across all the different things. CircuitPython will get there, but there is BLE for the S3, yes. Okay, so I need ground. Actually, I'll do it off this one. I don't know which. Where's pin 1? Oh, all the way there. I need some more light. Hang on. It's gonna make the logo blow out. Sorry. Okay. So pin 1. Really? Why does it look like pin 1 is going to there? Oh, that's on that one. Right, pin 1 is... Oh my god, they've got the pins backwards on each side. That is so stupid. Okay, pin 1. I can try to get a bit closer for you, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit it all in as I'm going. Okay, so pin 1 and pin 18. I have to keep flipping it over to see where 18 is. Oh my god. Gotta be kidding me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Oh, that is annoying. Okay, and ground. Okay, 2 grounds. I'm gonna put, I'll do power last. Best place is asking aid through Discord. Yep. Yep. But there is definitely BLE. I just, you know, can't tell you how feature rich it is. That's all. Okay, so zoom is fine, but I'm in the small window. Yeah, I'm in that just so I can see the, you guys, if you don't want to see the data sheet, I could just do this. Oops, no. There, but you can't see the data sheet or the pinout, that's all. So, okay. Right. Pin 12 is also ground. Really? How many grounds? So that's 18, 16, 14, 12. Okay, 3 grounds. And I'm assuming K is also going to be ground. We've got SDA, clock, CS, reset. Oh my god. I don't even know where to start on this. Let's just see if we can get the screen working. And what's RS and then what's reset? You sure you don't want to see the pins? No? Okay. 11 is SDA. So that's 1, 2, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Goes to there. And clock. No, actually SDA is 10. Damn it. Clock is 9. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. LVDS 12 reset. Got the DS open on phone. Okay. What's LVDS? What are you talking about? What? CS pin. CS is on 8. And my CS will be 34, I guess will work. If I can count pins. I have to double check all that later. I don't know what RS is. 11 is reset. Yeah, I know 11's reset. But what's RS? Would that be like a DC? This is getting crazy. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. I just want the bare minimum. Oh, wow. 6 and 5 are also ground. I'm going to run out of ground pins. Maybe I'll just have to join some of them together. Scroll the page down to the table. Right. Okay. So Rob's talking about this. RS is data or command. Yeah. So the DC. Which is 7, but I need to do what's 5 and 6 is also ground. So 1, 3, 5. I'm definitely going to run out of ground pins. I might just leave 6, see what happens. If I'm looking for magic smoke. Oh, what's that? Who's that? Who did that? Okay, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. DC I'll stick. I'm going to need I2C, so I'm going to need those. So I'll put DC on 1 for now. So what don't I have? Power. I don't have power. So I need 3 volts. 3v3. I can get the pin. Hello. Why aren't you going into this header? Because it wasn't on the header. Okay. So the first power is... Oh, I need also, yeah, K needs to go to ground. And it says it needs 1.8 volts for SDIO for pin number 4, but that's just BS. That's not going to happen. Produce pairs for this stuff. Keep your signal current path tight and avoid common mode. Okay. Okay, 3. So I don't understand what this 1.8 volt rubbish is. That ain't gonna happen. Just saying. I mean, it's supposed to be for the I/O, and the I/O is 1.3 volts. So, sorry, 3.3 volts. So 2 and 4. So this is going to be 3.3 volts regardless. Okay, 6. I've got DC, CS, reset, and ground. Okay, so the only thing I need to do is one more ground I need for the backlight, which is on number 2. And I just don't know where I'm going to hook that into, because I'm out of grounds. Hey Peter, how you doing? It's been a while. I mean, I can try to just hook it into here. That'll be interesting. So maybe that's enough to get the screen going. I don't know. We should try. I think. Damn real life. Yes, real life getting in the way of fun is not good. Okay, so before I plug it in, I should probably... I'm not grounded enough. Think about what I've done. What do you mean? What? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 ground wires right now. You'd think that on the screen it's a common ground, right? So, like, really, if this is not enough ground, I don't know what is. But the only issue is going to be the backlight, the K on the backlight, which I don't have a spare ground for at the moment. Okay, so just bear with me a moment. I'm going to bring up an Arduino sketch, I guess. So were you trying to be punny? Need some wire DuPonts for sure. Okay, so this is just for now, Adafruit's ST driver. So I'm just going to try to get this going first. So I'm going to set a tiny S3. It's not plugged in yet. I'll get to that in a moment. And just to get rid of this whole press reset thing, I'm going to put it into hardware CDC mode. Arduino is still a thing. Will be forever. Okay, so my DC...
Alan Madsen says if you look under description 1GND is fine.
Sure. I think, hopefully. Wait, where did I just pull that from? One, 2, 3. Oh. Okay. Cool. So I did reset. We want -1. Oops, -1. I just need to, believe it or not, bring up my pin out card because I can't remember what my pin numbers are. Okay. So I set up, one was, DC was 1. CS is 34. So hopefully, and which one, do you have to specify which board? Oh, here, okay. So it's this one we want, I believe. Okay, so if I plug this in, hopefully it won't blow up. Let's find out. If it blows up, well, what you gonna do? Oh, that cable's not plugged in. That won't work. Whew, that was lucky. Okay, I need a cable that is plugged in. Oh, that's better. Okay, so no smoke. Let's see if I have it in a mode I can flash it. I do. So let's flash it and see what happens. Dun-dun-dun. Famous last words. What was my favorite? Each high-speed signal should have its own ground return so the current stays constrained to the desired portion of the circuit. Yeah, not really. Yeah, these aren't really high speed, and also they're wires going across. There is no like what you're talking about comes like it's to do with routing on a PCB, not to do with using DuPont wires like this. Just saying. Yeah, this might not let it flash. I have to put it in download mode. Okay. I was hoping not, because I didn't want to have to knock any of the wires. Okay, let's try again. Yeah, it's great practice when you're designing a PCB. It's kind of impossible when you're just hooking up wires like this. Watch? No, tinywatch.io. Okay, so it flashed. I just have to reset it. And now we'll see nothing on the screen. Although we're getting some output, but that doesn't mean anything, does it? Because I could have all of this wired up wrong. Who knows? So I can see some backlight. Can you see that? Maybe when I plug. When I plug the K in, I can see backlight, but that's all I can see. So the question is it a driver thing or is it a pin thing? Is it a... That should be clock, and that should be that. It was pin 1, wasn't it? I could have them back to front on the header here as well. I'm getting a little bit of flickering on the screen, so it could be a bad wire as well. And it could also be that the screen is just not lined up correctly on this adapter, the way I did it. So let's go and just check all our wiring again. Fun, not fun, not fun. So 1, which should be the inside pin. The inside pin here should be 1. So 1 is going to ground here. Although that cable is a bit maybe wonky. So let's swap that cable out with a better one. Okay. 1. So let's start by raising the other FDEFs just in case. We shouldn't be picking up that or that, but okay, yeah, I can do that. No, I don't want to save it. Go away. Okay, I just want to also check. So 1 is there, 2 is LED K. So both of those should be ground, which they are. Okay, then we've got 3.3 volts and 3.3 volts. So we've got 2 lots of 3.3 power, 3.3 and 3.3, we do. Then we have another ground, which we do, and then we have the DC. Oh, no. DC is 7. Oh no, 5, 6, okay, yeah, then DC goes to 1, and then we've got clock, oh hang on, no, we've got CS goes to 34, clock goes to 37, data goes to 35, and then reset goes to, yep, 11, and then there's another ground, and that's it. So that should be all of it. It should be hooked up correctly. Hey Andy Mouse, sorry about YouTube notifications. I can try reflashing it, but I don't think it's the if defs. It could be. Oh, why is that? Interesting, I'm getting output. The serial was set to 9600, but I was getting output, which I shouldn't be getting. But I'm definitely not getting anything on the screen. So wonder if I could beep it out. It's USB serial. That's true. That's very true. Yeah, nothing on the screen. But the backlight is on. So unless these are back to front, unless I got pin number 1 reversed from the connector, that is possible. And there is no pin numbering on it. Okay. Hey, Igrophobus. I haven't cooked up, or SCL and SCA. Right, so you mean the data ones? Yeah, they're the right way. One's clock and one's data. So that's on that side. Right, which means that side should be pin 1. Okay. So I'm pretty sure I've got pin 1 connected the right way. There are just no markings. There's no indicator on the ribbon. But I can see where the I2C, where the touchscreen stuff is coming through. I can see where they are. And they are on the outside edge. So if the pin, Oh, hang on. Is that up or down? Oh, you know what?
Super chat!
What? Hey, Johnny. Thank you. Thanks very much, mate. Yeah, I hate wiring stuff like this as well. It's really frustrating. It could be that the connector is a top connect, not a bottom connect. That'd suck. I need to find another one of the connectors so I can look under the microscope. Where are you? Right.
Speaker Tony Mill says look in Discord.
Look in Discord. Yeah, I've got pin 1 the right way. But the question is it an up or a down on the connector? I might have it wired back to front because I might have the connector sitting, I might have it in the wrong way. I need to look under the microscope if it's an up or a down. Hang on. Assuming this is the same one. I think it is. Oh, this is a different connector. That's a down. That's a different connector, I think. Okay, let me just check this one.
Alan Madsen says is SCL and SDA defined correct in the lid?
Is what, sorry? No, it's definitely a down. Well, yeah, it picks up the, what do you call it is. Yeah, it picks it up for my file. Yeah, they are correct. It's definitely a down, so it's definitely going in the right way. But is it going in the right spot? Let me just put on the microscope. Hey, Alan. How you doing, mate? Let me just make sure that it's... Okay. It's definitely getting power, and it's definitely... Screen itself, ID, what? The screen's SPI, and the pins will be, well, yeah, like it's, I can swap the pins over, but I really, yeah, no picture. It's not the SDA, SCL, or in this case, it's, yeah, just data and clock, SPI data and clock. Look, it could just be the whole breadboard thing. It's possible. I'm going to move these over. When I say breadboard, I'm talking about just using these wires. God, that's bright. One, two, three, four. what was that other one? What was pin 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11? What was pin 11? Definitely needs more ground. Hey, reset. Okay. Yeah, not getting anything. How annoying is that? No picture. Well, if there's a CS, you know, yes. It's supposed to just do one of the graphic test things that Adafruit do. They dump just a whole bunch of text and draw some pictures and flip it around and whatever. Break out a scope and see what's going on. I don't think a scope's going to help me in any way here. No, scope's not happening. It won't be an SPI speed thing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's. Reset is high. Sent a link to it before. This one. It's just an 7789. Like it's supposed to be just be a standard. Worked using 320, really? You can try it. Well, right now it's connected to the S3's reset pin, which should be correct. Shouldn't reset below. I don't know, I can move reset to a different pin. Let's do that. Okay, I'll move reset to a different pin. If I can get it out. So on every screen I've ever used, an ST7789 or the other ones, reset, I always tie reset to the ESP32 reset. But reset on the ESP32 is not like, to reset it, you pull it low. That's not active low. It's not the same. It's reset. It's just high is on and low is off on the ESP32. So you're confusing the reset functionality of the ESP32. So this should make no difference. Just letting you know. Okay, I'll try it, Dario. Okay, I'm trying it now. I've connected it to pin 2. And if it works, then we know. Although they've still got the 320 mode. Okay, hang on. Oh, okay. Look at something on the screen now. You're right. You were right. So the actual reset is not the same. And that's interesting because actually. So that looks like it's working. That's in the 320 mode. I'm going to put it back to the 280 and see if that works. See, that's the wrong res. So using these screens, which are the same, using all my other ST screens, reset is always on my tied to my reset on my ESP32, and I haven't had that problem. So this must be different. I don't know why it'd be different though. Okay, there we go. So that's it back at 240 mode. A 240 by 280, which means the icon's in the right spot now. Okay, so it's working. So it was the reset. Cool. So now we need to somehow hook up the touch. I don't even know what touch controller it's using. Does it say? That says 10 microseconds. What? Does it mention what the touch chip is? Anywhere? Catch you later, Dave. Have a good sleep. Okay, I must be blind. You sure that's what it is? How good can you see the marking on the chip? Not very well. But it probably is. Hey, Richard. Okay, so I don't know if I've got a driver for that. Okay, so it is the CS. Okay, so I wonder if the Adafruit Touch stuff has support for that. Otherwise, this driver here. And he's going to sleep as well. Okay. Good night. Okay. File. Hey, Pro Engineer. Smartwatch. What is Smartwatch? Oh, look at that. Here's an example with the Adafruit driver. No way. We should try this. What do you reckon? Okay, so so CS is 34, reset is 2, DC is 1. I don't want to set those, and I want to set those. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that though. Okay, that's 1. Hate this keyboard. Okay, and my touch will be SCL up 9 and 8, I believe. Could be wrong. Hold on. Yep, it's 9 and 8. And Really? I'm gonna have to, and IRQ, so it could be 3 and 4. I don't want to pass it the SPI. Sorry. And I don't want to do that. But I do need to hook this up. Okay, wall wires, and I don't have enough grounds, and I don't think they share a common ground at all. It doesn't look like, but maybe I'm wrong. Do you reckon it shares a common ground? So I need STA, SCL, I need reset, and I need oops. Okay, back to here. Okay, SCL, which is pin 13. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. You can see why the C3 or C6 really doesn't have enough pins. It's going to go to 9. And just going to go to 8. 14. Okay, and then reset. Ground is common. Okay. I'll believe you maybe 4 and 3. Four and 3 goes to 16. But I need another 3.3 volts. I don't have another 3.3 volts. $17 and $18. $17. How am I going to do another 3.3 volts? Damn, I should have got a different breakout board with more pins. I can try just squeezing it onto here. Okay, maybe, all I can say, who knows? Is that still gonna boot, or did I break something? Oh, see, I've broken something. Uh-oh. Okay, wiring that up has broken something. Just pulling them back out. Oh well. Excellent. Hey Yazzie. Okay, this is not kicking garbage on the screen. Why are we getting garbage on the screen? Anyone? Beulah? Beulah? Ugh. Why has this stopped working? Does anyone know? Hey, IVH. Okay, I don't know why it stopped working. I haven't installed that. I don't know if it's boot looping. Catch you later, Dave. Gotta go in the office. No. Say hi to the office for me. Okay, I'm gonna try to flash this on, but I don't know why this has stopped. Bad wire. 2 wire. No matching function found. And for bus number? In the office all week. COVID head up. What? You got COVID? No. Living the dream today, Yuz. Frozen fingers, cold coffee, not working code. It's great. Definitely living the dream.
Alan Madsen says line 29 error.
No, I fixed that. It was it was looking for a bus number. Boot, it's got an I2C error. So obviously it's not liking the touchpad setup. Oh, it's not connected. So the I2C is not connected, but the screen should be showing something, you'd figure. Should it be showing something? So I want to get the screen back working. The error is, it's only going to do, right, it should have, right, so it probably won't print any of that if it's not, maybe. Why isn't the screen working? Who broke the screen? Well, the original code wasn't working before. No, I'm putting that back on now. But no, it stopped working before. So I've knocked a wire, banged a wire, done something with a wire. So it's not getting anything on the screen now, which is annoying. Let me just untangle some of these wires. Maybe that's a cause. I should have just put this actually in a breadboard. Maybe it would have been better. So it was going before. We all saw it, right? So unless I've knocked the screen out of the connector, maybe. I don't think so. All of these look plugged in. Let me just unplug it, plug it back in again, just in case. One and two. Got to be a bad wire somewhere. It's got to be. I don't know what else it could be. Ugh. Yeah, I'm not running that code. I'm running this other code. I'm running that original code that was displaying stuff, which is now not displaying stuff. Which doesn't make a lot of sense. Damn. Okay. I don't know. I have a spare display. I have another one, I believe. I hope. I thought I do. Thought I did. Whatever. Maybe. Thought I bought two. Here we go. You reckon I destroyed the screen? I guess it's possible. You never know. Oh, here's a new screen. Yeah, no. Okay, well, other than redoing all the wiring, I remember her page 3 days. What? Never touch a running display. Never used DuPont. 2, 4, 6. 6. What's on pin 6? 5 and 6. That's ground.
Alan Madsen says Samantha Fox, touch me.
Oh, right. I don't know what to do other than start swapping out. Swapping out wires. I'm not really sure what else you can do here. Yeah, I remember that. I remember Samantha Fox. Oh, look at that. Now it worked. It was a bad wire. Oh, bloody hell. It was a bad wire. So I know that it's not connected, but I'm going to make sure that I'm going to chuck this wire out. I'm going to make sure that the other code works. It should display something on the screen, but the loop won't run. So, which is fine. But it should initialize, and see, it prints something on the screen. So now let's hook up. Let's try again, shall we? Okay, I need, damn, you watch, I'm going to knock the cables all again. Okay. That is SCL. Should I do it a bit neater this time? 13, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Okay, and 14. Okay, that's SCL, SDA, use a breadboard. Well, this is a breadboard, but a breadboard's really not going to be any better, I don't think. Okay, reset I put on pin what? Pin... reset is on pin 4. And the interrupt was on pin 3. Now the only problem is going to be getting power to the chip. I wonder if the chip can actually power from phantom power. I don't know. 17.
Cian, chatbot has disconnected.
Bloody chat disconnecting? I'd love to know why. Okay. Well, now it says it's alive, so maybe it is working still.
Unexpected maker says boo.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna see if, oh, how will I plug it in? Please screen work. Okay, screen still works. Good luck me touching it. It's going to disconnect all the wires. I2C error still. That's interesting. Pull-ups. Pull-ups will be, yes, that could be it. And oh my god, do you think I've got any 10k resistors anywhere? Hang on. Wow, it's been a while. Okay. I might have some 10k resistors. I don't have any pull-ups on here. Oh, bloody hell. So this will be interesting because I don't even know. Yeah, that's not going to fit on there. They're not going to go into those pins. Breadboard sounds good now. Maybe, or maybe I'm going to hack some resistors. One moment, please. Ooh, nice. Assuming that this is even the issue, and it's possible.
DIY in the ghetto says I lost internet connection. My ISP having some fun with me.
Oh no. Nope, still getting an error. So I'm not convinced that it's, I mean, it could be the pull-ups, but I now have two 10K pull-ups on here. I'm actually getting nothing on the screen now, which I was before. Great. So now what if I okay, so I get something on here, but if I put pull-ups on, one, two, three, four. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 5 and 6. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still on the screen, and right, if I put a pull-up on the SDA pin, I get nothing on the screen. Um, 10K should be fine. You know 10K is less, like, anyway. I guess I should actually check that these are 10K. I've never used a 4.7K resistor as a pull-up on I2C on anything ever. Depends on the speed you want it to run. Yeah. Since I went away. Anyway. Yep, they're 10K. So it's not liking let's make sure that's actually connected to the right place. The orange one. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 14 and 16. 14. Yep, SDA. Yeah, I've got the extra VCC in here as well. Oh, now it's... Wait. I'm still getting the error. but it's now it seems to be booting. No, now it's not booting. The only thing I haven't got connected is that last ground. Yeah, so I get no, if I pull that pull up out, I can get it out. Oh, now I'm getting nothing again. Oh, this is so temperamental. Have you checked reset? Check reset for touch. Well, I've hooked up reset for touch. I've got it on its own I/O. So this is just too annoying. I'm going to pull out the breadboard, much to my dismay. If I can find one. If I can find a spare breadboard. Can't believe I'm going to go to a breadboard. Bloody hell. Ugh. This is a bit of a warped breadboard. Where do I find a spare? I don't use breadboards very much, so I don't know if I've got any spare ones. Oh, hang on. I do. Okay. If Rob's still around, he might remember this one. Actually, no. I got that one because of the one I got from you ages ago. Okay, let's just... I can't believe I'm going to do this. Here we go. Transplant time. So... Okay. Okay, 3.3 volts. It's going to go to there. And ground. And get it in. Is going to go to there. Okay, so I can't believe I'm pulling this out. Yeah, I hooked that up though, and it didn't seem to do anything. So, okay. Okay, back to here. 1 and 2. That's actually, the screen's quite warm. Yeah, okay. 1, 2, and 3 and 4 go into here. Still not going to have enough pins for ground. I have to do a jumper over. Oh no, actually I've got enough. What am I talking about? Come on, get off. This must be excruciating for everyone to watch. Okay, 3.3, 3.3, and I'm gonna try to at least color code the and 3.3 goes to here, and another black. Wow, can't get this in. Another bad one. Okay, black goes to black. Okay, and I need that is going to go to there, and can everyone see what I'm doing? No. I like watching when I used to like watching Windows defrag, the defragger. It's good. Okay. Okay, they're for pull-ups. Okay, so, wow, isn't this a mess? Okay, so 5 and 6 are also ground. And I'm going to make sure all the grounds are connected this time, because why not? That's a lot of power and ground. Really? That's just all power and ground that's in there right now. That's just ridiculous. Sorry. Okay, so DC, which is 7. DuPont spaghetti, absolutely. Oh no, I lost it. DC goes to 1. And then CS went to 34. And then that's clock, 36, and that is data, it's 35. Okay. Oh, hang on. No, that's the wrong one. That one, 35. Okay, then we have reset. Right, reset is 11. Right. Reset went to 2. And then ground, another ground. We're having fun yet. Okay. And then we've got SCL. SCL, which is 9. SDA. Which is 8. Then we have the reset,
Alex Harvey says so much fun.
which is 4. And then, oh, I've lost a Y has come out. Yay, could be the reset. I can't even see the pin numbers on the board now. Four, 3, 2. Okay, that should be everything connected. I don't even know if I can get to the USB connector now. This will be fun. No, I can't. Because these wires are in the way. Bloody hell.
Robbie says, as a wise man once said, looks good. Ship it.
Okay, and again, no picture. And boot. See, I2C boot error. Oh, no error. But not working. We're not getting I2C error now, but nothing on the screen. So we're back to nothing on the screen. And if I take out that other pull-up, still nothing on the screen. A locked up bus. Unlikely. More likely just a bad cable. It's only a little frustrating. Put the old code back on. Did you miss anything? Not really. Does it boot if display is detached, albeit with I2C error? I don't know. I can try to pull the display off, but it's going to... Let's just see if this code works again. Nope. Okay, so have I got something wired wrong? It's possible something was wired wrong. Definitely got the backlight. Oh, this is so annoying. Big ass bug flew into your bedroom. got to be the wiring. Like, I don't want to have to make a freaking PCB just to test this. That's just insane. Wait. I lost one of my grounds from somewhere. Ground, ground, power, power, ground, ground. I'm only finding this slightly annoying, so that's, you know, that's positive, right? One, two. Okay, if this doesn't go, how long have I been streaming for? Over 2 hours. This is why I don't use breadboards, folks. This is why I hate breadboards, and this is why when people in my Discord ping me and they go, hey, my blah blah blah's not working, blah blah blah, and then they show me a picture on a breadboard, I tell them to get it off a breadboard straight away. Like, not just a breadboard, but just using these type of wires. Infuriating. Okay, so I'm trying to clean up the wiring. If I can. No promises. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's more the wires than the breadboard, but the breadboard allows the opportunity for all these wires to go haywire. So, ground, reset. Wait, no, ground, DC. Okay, hang on. Right, ground. We've got 5, 6, so 7. DC. DC is on pin 1. Pin 34. Wait. In clock. Okay, might have clock and data the wrong way. It's possible. Clock and data. Okay, maybe that was a problem, but I've cleaned up this anyway. Okay, screen is working again. I got the screen working. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Now let's put the other code back on again. There are live breadboards. What? I can't believe there's still 61 people watching. That is just silly. Okay, so screen is working, but we're going to get this error again. I2C error. So now, one last time, let's try to get this I2C stuff hooked up. Okay, this is my last attempt. Can't look away. Okay, so first one, 13 is SCL. And plug 14 in first because I can't get to 14 once I plug 13 in. So 13 can we go under? Please go under. Okay. SCL and SDA. Now, I'm not putting pull-ups on them yet. I'll do that after. What? Hey Jenna. Jenna said, Sion said without saying it, I'm far too modest to recognise that I do awesome stuff that drag a substantial amount of people to get interested in it. Yeah, don't believe that at all, actually. Definitely not this. This is just insanity. Look, like this is just, like, it's not even on screen for you to see what I'm doing. But this is just insanity. Like, this is, oh, I feel like terrible doing this. Like, I feel like I'm wasting everyone's time fighting this wiring. Okay. That's reset and int, and now. Need ground and 5 volts. Sorry, 3 volts. Not 5 volts. Not 5 volts. I'm kidding. It wasn't 5 volts. Okay, let's plug this in and see if the screen still works. No, the screen no longer works. I know we're getting I2C boot error, but we should still see a picture on the screen. Right, I could have more. Well, I can... Trying to get more in. Okay, that's not... It's supposed to be showing something on the screen. Oh, and that time it did when I... Okay, so it's showing something on the screen. I2C is not booting, but I've got no pull-ups. So now the question is, if I go from 3.3 volts here over to here, and I put a pull-up one pull-up here, if I get in the right hole, and another pull-up here. They are the worst resistors I've ever put in, and now I boot it. We get boot, we get no error. Oh, oh. It's doing something on the screen. I don't know what it's supposed to be doing. It doesn't look right. It's displaying garbage on the screen. It looks like garbage on the screen. What's it supposed to be doing? Oh, it's looking for swipe up, swipe down. Ooh. Can we get the font size bigger? Maybe. Let's get the font size bigger. I don't care if it's too big. I want to see stuff on the screen. But it looks corrupt. It looks like it's displaying garbage. Alright, it's saying swipe left, swipe right. It's doing it in a random position. Is that what it's doing? Or is the swiping in the wrong spot? Okay, swipe left. Okay, so it's doing it where I'm touching it, kind of. Swipe left, right. That's down, that's up. Okay, so the screen goes that way. That's interesting. The text is upside down. It thinks it's a down, but it's that way. The connections don't need a picture. They just need stability. So it looks like this is rotated the wrong way. Actually, I'll go put it back to 2. Down, up, left, right, click, press. Okay. Let's see if this is the right orientation. Okay, look, it's possible, but I think it's more likely just this crazy mess of wiring is personally what I think the issue is. Okay, so up. So it's thinking this is the up, right? Up, down. Oh, right and left is wrong. Oops. Right, left. Oh. Uh-oh. See, I moved it, I rotated it. And now it stopped working. See, and now it stopped working. Oh no! Don't touch the wires, Sion. You freaking idiot. See, here we go. We're back. Maybe. So up. Down is right, but left and right is back to front. And then single click. I thought I renamed it. Oh, right. I didn't rename single click. Okay, that's double click. It's not recognizing the long press. Oh, there we go. It kind of did. Press. So single click, double click. So right and left is wrong. Okay, so that'll be click, and that'll be double click. So right and left is wrong because of the rotation. Interesting. I need a mirror. I'm just going to change what it outputs for now. I'll have to work out why. It's back to front. And I actually don't want it to be there. I want the cursor to be oh, it doesn't really matter. Okay. Yeah, I set the screen rotation, but if I set the So here, the rotation was set to 2, but then left and right is correct, but up and down is wrong. Well, up and down might be right, but the rotation of the writing was wrong. Uh-oh. No picture again. Okay. So up, down, click, double click, left, right, and press. And then I don't know what the question mark is. Okay, so I don't even know if it does multi-touch. No, that sucks. No multi-touch. But that's pretty responsive, actually. More than I thought it would be. And that's also got the protective layer on it. But now it's locked up. See that? It gets locked up sometimes. I don't know what the driver is. See that? It just does some weird stuff. Oh, and touch is wrong. Look. So as I touch on the left, it's doing on the right. If I touch on the right, it's doing it on the left. But so the rotation was correct. The rotation was correct, but that means that the screen maybe there's a specific rotation. Is there one for the touchscreen? There's a set rotation for the TFT. Maybe there's a way of setting the touchpad rotation. I don't know. I'll have to look at the API. But no, but left and right was inverted then. If I put it back to what it was, which I'm doing now, I can mirror the touch. There might be a way of setting it in the begin. I don't know. Left or right hand setting. Is that really? Is that a thing? Okay, please work. What? Okay, now we're back to not working again. For no reason. Oh, come on. What did I do? It's getting an error again, so something's loose again. It's booting, but there's nothing on the screen. Look, I know it works. I'm going to have to suck it up and make a... It's not the screen connection to the adapter. I don't think so. That seemed pretty tight. I don't think so. I think it's one or more of these wires are just not good. Like the screen flickers when I move some of these things around. So... Oh, see that time? Now it worked. Okay, so this is how it originally started. See, the writing's upside down now, right? And if I swipe, okay, so it does down. I'm swiping this way, and it says down that way. And I swipe that way, it's saying up. But it's doing it from where I touched, right and left. But you see, it's doing it opposite. And the click, well, it is following my finger. So that would make this the bottom, but that thinks it's a down. No, that's just an up. But left and right is correct. So yeah, I need to I need to look at the driver and flip it. I don't know if he's got any other examples. What other examples has he got? Touch me. Oh, yes, I said that out loud. Touch me. Okay, I'm going to have to look at inside his library to see what else. Yeah, well, it's not so easy to just open the driver, but yes, I can open the driver and have a look. The point is, this is working. I thought I was going to get both screens going today, but clearly not. But this is the screen ideally I want to use, although they're harder to get and they're more expensive. So if you look at the price of this screen, well, if you look at the shipping as well, like that's 16 bucks. 16 bucks Aussie, but 16 bucks for the screen is makes it a very expensive watch. And this allows some timing issues, causing a lockup. No, it's all the wires. I'd say it's just all the wires. So the problem I've got now at 2.5 hours and cold coffee, but still 50 people watching. Woohoo! It's €10 and DK, yeah, it's about the same. This is all built around the ESP32-C6, which is the chip I really want to use. That's the version without touch. And I never actually finished the version with touch because I didn't know what screen I wanted to use. But this is the version I was working on with touch, and as you can see I've got a connector there, but the connector was going to be dependent on what screen I used. So, and one of the things I wanted to put on the watch that I didn't have enough I/O for was, I'd love to stick a microphone on there. So, and there's also no sound, there's no buzzer on here at the moment. But I've got 0 and reset, and I've got 2 switches, and one of the switches has to be a power button if I go for power, if I want to actually have a power button. So the idea of a power button is that the watch is off, but USB will still charge the battery. No, I don't. What are you talking about, Chris? Be ridiculous. Sorry. So, which watch has a camera? But, no, I don't almost have to do anything. Like, other people can design a watch that has all those things if they want to. I don't need a camera on my watch. I'd like a microphone. A buzzer might be nice, but again, it's an issue of I/O. Well, someone else can do a Dick Tracy watch. I don't know how I'm going to... I can't get a camera on this. There's not enough... there's not enough I/O on here. So... Oh, interesting. It's cracking the shits. So what have we got on here? So we've got an RTC, a fuel gauge, and a BMA 400. There is no IMU. There is no haptic driver. These are all things that can go on. Guys, stop. So, I'm not looking at making a $300 watch, okay? It does not need all those things. Not for the first version, anyway. Like, So there's a limit to how much size. Yeah, let's do HDMI output for sure, right? Yeah, I've got a mic. I know, but I don't have enough I/O. So the problem is putting an IMU on there. Great, I don't have enough I/O. I2C is no problem, but I have no I/O for the interrupts. So an IMU without interrupts means you've got to sit there polling it the whole time, which is just a waste of power, right? Thermal imager. Chris, I'm going to come over there and smack you over the head. So a fuel gauge, I think, is important for battery on it. I don't know if I need both interrupts for the BMA 400. Maybe I can find something a bit smaller. No, I was 232, count me out. I don't need the EVI pin on the RTC, so I can just use just the interrupt pin. But as you can see, this is all the I/O. There's not enough I/O on the thing. So I've got, so they're the boot I/O, so can't use those, right? But backlight, I could always just leave that on, but I think we want a programmable backlight. DC, UART, potentially need to keep free, but we'll see. CS, right, SCK. Like I've got, for memory, I think I've got one I/O free on this version. So, but if I get rid of one button and have it have no buttons except for I/O 0, which is the boot button and then becomes a user button, I can potentially save one extra I/O, and that gives me 2 or 3 I/O if I can save one of these interrupts on the BMA. But 3 I/O will give me a mic, the I2S microphone, but no output, no buzzer. If I use one for buzzer, PWM for sound, which I think it would be very useful, then there's not enough for a microphone. And that's not including, I don't have anything set aside. Well, actually, that's not true. Well, these touch pins, right? I don't have a touch int and RST. So I can't even hook up the touch either. So this is the problem of using an ESP32-C3 or even a C6 in the future, or the C6 or the C5, or whatever, is they don't have enough I/O. And no, I can't put an I/O expander on because I can't use an I/O expander for interrupts and for these things because I need to be polling them, and I can't use the I/O expander for SPI, yada yada yada, and I can't use an I/O expander for I2S. So it limits what features I can put on here. Open drain interrupt lines connected together. Well, they're not open drain. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Dual C6. IMU built-in FIFO's worker without interrupts unless the goal is wake up on tilt. Throw a 30-cent 8-bit micro in there. How does a 30-cent 8-bit micro help me in any way, Chris? I have to then communicate with it. Then I have to somehow be able to flash it and then communicate. I don't even know what the BMI 270 is. Sorry, what is it? Well, hey Eric. Well, the problem with that is I then have to hook up the IRQs from the I/O expander to it. So I still have to have at least one IRQ, extra IRQ going back to the chip Like I'm many IO short, and not just for the interrupts. The interrupts are the least of the problem here. I don't have enough for the interrupts alone, let alone any other hardware, is what I'm saying. So I don't have room to put an IMU, regardless, and I don't have room to put the microphone, I2S microphone, regardless. I still don't have the interrupts hooked up. Like, even just to solve what I have in here is a problem if I'm using touch. So, and putting an IO expander on that is, I don't think is the right way to go. Interface the buttons and screen to a micro and then use a single data connection back. But then I've got a limited speed of, like, where's the frame buffer going? So I've got to store the frame buffer on the C6 and somehow get all that data over to the little micro to display it on the screen. No, that's a terrible idea. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Yeah, no. One micro on the board. If I got to start doing stuff like that, then I'm just going to set the project on fire and go do something else. Okay? Yeah, it is. They're very limited chips, and they're not designed like they're designed for the millions and millions of IoT switch things that, you know, in China and stuff. They're not designed to be a, you know, uber powerful, lots of features microcontroller for other projects. You know, and the truth is, limiting the I/O like they have really doesn't save them much in terms of, or maybe a little bit. Anyway, it's a bit frustrating. So the H2 is the same or worse. The C5 is the same. All their new generation of chips have just got not enough I/O at all. Yeah, anyway, I wanted to put, I don't want to put an FPGA on this. That'd be crazy. Anyway, well, there is no PSRAM. You can't actually, you'd have to code all that yourself. Like there's no support for PSRAM in IDF for the C3. So it's not even a matter of chip select. Like it won't use PSRAM. Like it doesn't have the capability of addressing the space. From my understanding, it's not a chip select thing. It's a no support at all for PSRAM. Which is just a killer, because I don't even know if there's going to be enough memory in this thing, like in the C6, to really do anything super fancy. Like the Open Watch, the other project that's using, I think it's using an S2, could be. Yeah, is you know, on the round screen, like they've actually got like all of they've got really nice graphics for the watch face, but they're bitmaps, they're full screen bitmaps. Like I can store them in Flash on the C6, but I don't have enough frame buffer to store that plus other whatever. Okay, I can have a look at the BMI 270. Oh, that's right, it's using a D4, pick a D4. Thanks, Ryan. So I couldn't remember what it was using. Anyway, it's, yeah, and their code base is not compatible with other chips. I mean, it can be made so, but definitely not compatible with the C6. But I don't want to use a Pico D4 in it. It's just power hungry. I don't want to be wearing a watch on my wrist that has a battery that's so thick that... And that's another thing to solve, is a battery. Like, the batteries are just too small. I don't mind having to charge my watch every day. RP2040's got no radio. So how does that help me? This whole point was to have Wi-Fi and BLE. Yeah, I could use like the Apple Vision Pro, just have a battery that comes up a wire, hangs to the side. I've done partial frame buffering, split the screen into thirds, rely on the display controls internal frame buffer, massively reduces RAM requirements. Sure, also requires a custom driver for it. But then I'm back onto 2 micros. And I don't want to do a watch with 2 micros. So, again, the same thing. Like, it's not what I want to do. That's not a solution for battery life. The C6, if the radio is not on, which would be the RP2040 mode, can run way lower power than the RP2040 can. You can run the C6 at like 10 megahertz, 16 megahertz. Takes no power. You don't have to be updating the screen at 30 frames a second in that mode. You can get it lower than the RP2040 can and not have to implement an RP2040 with a crystal and separate flash and blah blah blah. And then when the C6 is on with the radio on, you've got double the, well, not double, you've got way more power requirements with the RP2040 and the C6 running the radio. Like, that doesn't solve any problem. They're forgetting about the size of the board, and no, it's not going double-sided. That makes it even thicker. Hey, Nilio, no, we spoke about an IO Mux. That isn't really an option. I don't think an IO Mux is an option. It just like a second micro, it just overcomplicates things dramatically. So the question is, how do I solve this without that? Or how far can I take it without that? So my plan is to see how far I can take it without, but right now the C6 isn't ready for any of this. So I might as well just stick an S3 on it and that solves all my problems. Catch you later, Max. Have a good sleep. So, you know, and instead of an RP2040, like, if you're talking about just, if I've got both chips on there, two micros, I might as well stick a tiny 16 on it and not use an RP2040 because I don't need anything else with the chip, and that'll also give me extra I/O and runs much lower power than an RP2040 does. But it doesn't solve anything for me. It just adds complexity. But adding extra hardware isn't breaking it down to smaller blocks. It's just adding complication. Like, I need to just see the maximum I can get going on this chip. But like, I don't even think I can get a driver for this. ST7789 IDF driver. Don't know yet. What do I want to service interrupts for? What will other people want to service interrupts for? Sure, I'll just knock it out. Like, give me 30 seconds and I'll knock out a driver for you, Chris. Yeah, no. Trouble boards that cannot use GPIO 8 and 9. Used by clock pins. Okay. So the reason I don't want to be using IDF is that means everyone is stuck in IDF land. So of all the people out there that use an ESP32 with Arduino and Platform IO, I would guess, I'm just guessing, but I would guess that 90% of them, if they saw they had to work in the IDF for the project, would walk away from it and go, huh, forget it, right? So that to me is a complete showstopper. It's got to be Arduino / Platform IO, or for those that want, CircuitPython, MicroPython compatible.
Cian, chatbot has disconnected.
Okay, and now it's reconnected. Yay. So yeah, that means using a chip that's compatible now or releasing the watch in 2 years when the C6 is compatible. Yeah. But at least I have a screen and I have a pinout, and I've confirmed that the screen and the touch works. So, I mean, to get an S3 on here is not hard. An S2 is easier. So if I put an ESP32 S2, actually, no. If I put an S2, I can get 4 meg of RAM and 2 meg of PS RAM on a chip. I can do that on an S3, but it limits it to 60 degrees, which again could be a problem. I get no Bluetooth, but I get all of the breadboard on the others. Rob, that's funny. That is funny. Yeah, or maybe not ever. Maybe not ever. Okay. Oh, the other thing that I've got on this is I've got under voltage protection on it as well. It should be approximately 3.2 volts. It should cut off the battery. So I've been trying to add things onto the watch that other people aren't adding, like that. Like I haven't seen, I'm sure there are out there, but like I've not looked at every single watch project, right? Right, well that's where the chip turns off at 60, so that's a bit of a problem. I've not looked at everyone's watches out there. I'm sure there are stacks more than I know about, but the ones that I have looked at, most of them just are very limited in stuff like the battery management side, fuel gauge, under voltage cutoff, stuff like that. So they were kind of important for me to have on this because I think that they're really important, especially on a watch that can chew through the battery really quickly. The last thing you want to do is your battery runs out on your watch and you don't realize that it hasn't actually cut the battery off and it's just still chewing the battery to the point where it actually damages the battery. Well, right now I've got 2 pins, but I'll get rid of one of them. I don't need 2 buttons. I only need 1 button, or maybe no button. Although I need a power button, but that doesn't go to I/O. But I've already counted that. I've already counted those pins. Yeah, anyway. So, it wasn't just the screen that I was stalled with, it was the whole C6 thing. I guess that I could always finish it off, put it aside, and then do an S3 version for now. And put all the rest of the stuff on that I want to get on there and see how it turns out. But it's just going to be a power hog. Like you'll have to actually strap a different like a whole battery here to your arm. How about LED at the top edge for a flashlight function? Yeah, except I've got no spare I/O for it. You know, unless you want it on all the time. You know, but if you want to be able to turn it on and off, I need an I/O for that. Yeah. Lots of options. I don't really want to have to design it twice with 2 different micros. I'll keep looking today at what other IDF libraries are out there, but I really don't want to be doing an IDF version. What are the Wi-Fi use cases I'm thinking of? I want it connected. I want to be able to, I don't know, use MQTT. Balloony! Hello! MQTT to get messages or to do things. I want to be able to turn my air conditioner on and off. I want to be able to, you know, I don't know, receive notifications. I want to, like, I don't know. Not things I want to pair to my watch, to my phone to do. I don't want to have to pair this to my phone to be able to do things and write a companion app and blah, blah. I'm not interested in. I'm not going to ever. I'll never do it, right? And then so that functionality will never happen, or someone else will have to write it, so the functionality will never happen. Yeah, I also want to be able to do over-the-air updates on it. Actual smartwatch. ESP32 room and a screen that can already get notifications from my phone without any app. Okay. I don't know, Rob. I don't know. I want to have the options open for it. Looney, it's a tiny C6 watch. Got the screen working today. Oops, maybe. Took a bit. Oops. Now it's not. Oh, right, left, up, down. Oh, should be. Yeah, great. Breadboard hell. Breadboard hell. But the problem is it's designed around a C6, which is I/O limited and also no compatibility yet in anything other than IDF. So yeah, I wouldn't want to do 2 micros on something like this. The whole point was to make this an open project. And making an open project and making it so complex, double micro, double firmware, blah, 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 is just, no. It's, I think, the wrong approach. I'd rather strip out functionality. But look, we'll see. It's, I still have to solve, yeah, I don't know. Oh, for sure. And the problem is it's not 5 I need, it's 5.1 I need for the C6. C6 only starts at 5.1. And right now, although possibly might not be, but the first, so version 3 of the Arduino support, so the ESP32 Arduino V3 is the first version that's going to use 5. Right now they're doing 5, not 5.1. They might change to 5.1, but and Platform IO needs the Arduino stuff out, and I don't know. There seems to be very little movement on the V3 stuff at the moment. So I don't know. It's a long way away. What? When did 5.1 get released? Did it really? GitHub / expressive. Oh my god, ESP-RDF. Three weeks ago? What? Right, if maybe that's something they were waiting for. Because 5.0 had a lot of issues. Like 5.1, the change list in 5.1 is just huge. So, I mean, look at it. Like this is the 5.1 change list. So yeah, like it had to be 5.1. There was no way 5.0. So where did you see? So hang on, GitHub, expressive, Arduino. Oh, and when did that happen? 2 days ago. 2.0.10. 2 days ago. Oh my god. Okay. So yeah, still on 4.4. Yeah, but where's their where did they have their 3.0? You know what I'm talking about? Is it? It's not under discussions. Is it under issues? Yeah, I think it is, Johnny. I once got to start streaming again. One day. Oh, look, someone else is reporting the whole upload and it doesn't run the code. Surprise, surprise. I can't believe they still haven't fixed this. So many S3 issues still. Do you know what I'm talking about? They're it's on a roadmap right now. It'll be supported, so no, I don't know. It'll be in 3.x.x, so it won't even be in 3.0. See, development branch will start working on RDF 5. Oh wait, that was a while ago. Has there been any updates? First initial support last month. Yeah, they've changed stacks. They have, and I think it's good. Okay, it might be sooner. It might be sooner. That'd be awesome. 75 changed files. Okay, well, I'm excited that they seem to be pushing forward on this. So now it's just a matter of maybe I will build it on the C6 then. No, Tim's not deep diving, but he does some interesting stuff. Not every week, but just generally. On 5 hours ago. Whoa. Any mouse, catch you later. Squeak. Squeak, squeak. Okay. If things are this much closer than what I thought, maybe. I mean, if it's buildable, like if I can build off this branch, I don't know if I can or not. I can try it. So touchscreen, tiny, C6, or button-based without touch. Button-based is pointless, I believe. So if I do the button-based version, then the screen is cheaper, but I've got less peripherals I can put on because I need buttons, right? Catch you later, Alan. Oh, 1:38 in the morning. Crazy. Hope you get some sleep. So it'll end up being a shit watch. Like, I don't want a watch that's got 5 buttons on it to control it. Yeah, I don't want that. I want a touch screen. So my original, what I was working on was a touch, but I couldn't find a compatible screen at the time. And then I found this one, but I already started working on the non-touch version. So it's definitely going to be touch. The question is whether I stick to the C6 or not. And just because the C6 support launches doesn't mean it's going to be good. I mean, the S3's been out for how long? A year and a half? And it's still buggy as all hell. No I2C I/O expander. No, we discussed that already. The things that I'm short on for I/O are things I can't do through an I/O expander. What would make a calculator easier? Touchscreen. Yeah, because everyone, you know, calculator on your watch is the most important feature. Trying to use a calculator with buttons, terrible. Oh, you know what I could do? Oh, you know what I can do? I've got the perfect thing. I just realized. The perfect thing. Give me a moment. Oh, if I can find it. I'm going to make the best watch ever. I've got it. I'm done. Yep. I'm going to make the best watch ever. My idea. No one copy. No one copy my idea. You hear me? I'm going to make a watch with a navigation button right in the middle. Look at that. I'm going to... Look at that. The interface can be around the navigation button. Or maybe I can do 2 of them. Look. It could be a gaming watch. Look at that. There you go. I'm making a watch with 2 joysticks on it. Then you don't need touch because it's got really good navigation. That's such a... Okay, anyway. Can anyone tell I haven't had enough sleep? Patent pending, yeah. Or what's if it was underneath the watch? Oh, go away. If we put the under, like this, ow, ow, ow. Okay, that really hurts. Okay, but look, watch, you can go, you got button, ow. And then you can go like this. You push it, ow. There you go, I can, ow. I can control my watch. Ow! Oh, look at that. That's worth it. Do you think it's worth it? Oh, fuck. Oh, Jesus. I got a hole in my arm. I got a hole in my arm. I got a hole in my arm. Look. Oh, Jesus. Look how tall that was. That really hurt. But what a brilliant idea. Look. It sticks to the bottom of the watch. There you go. And it sticks into your arm and you can move the watch. And that's how you control the interface. Oh. A boopable watch. Oh, far out. Now look at that. I got myself good. Look at that. That is, oh. I'm not sure that was worth it. Not enough coffee. Not enough coffee for sure. Use Wi-Fi to scan room and use gestures. Well, Chris Giorgio wants me to stick a camera on it. So I could just do this. I could, you know, pinch to zoom. Yeah? Can you imagine people sitting on buses, trains, Ubers, going, that'd be awesome. Make a video, make a movie about that. Make the D-pad BLE and put it underneath the eyelid. Hang on. No. Hear me out. Watch controller by heartbeat. You just have to change your heartbeat to navigate. Can even be alphanumeric input. Okay, so do you have to wear it like this? Or do you have to stick a wire, like, you know, into your heart? You need the, like, I'm kidding. Anyway, the internet watch problem has been solved. No way, really? Who did that? Stephen, all the ouches are not ringing endorsement of the idea. No, that actually really did hurt. But it was so worth it. Apple? Nah. No. They're just jokers. Really? Really? Come on. It's not even a real watch. Lick to swipe. Oh, you know what? Sideways is hard. You tried doing sideways swiping. Try doing down. How do you lick down? You'd have to turn your arm upside down. Does it have enough flash and RAM for Doom? The C6, well, no. S3 would. Hold breath to control. Is it based on the colour of your face from holding your breath? Breath controlled. Can you imagine Ryan, again, on a bus or a train and people just going onto their watches? That'll be shocking. The watch all wives gift to the husband. Wife. Yeah, lick controlled one. Sorry, Scrappy. Yeah, it is getting out of control. On that note, I want to get back to work, or start work, actual real work, like stop the stupidity. Temperature control, rub harder to change function. It should just be a shaking watch. Like people walking down the street going like this. Yeah. I'm sending a message. Like Morse code. Beep, 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 beep. Can you imagine? Oh. Jesus. Okay, I'm going to stop. Thank you, everyone. Spell the words out with your tongue. Go on. Make me a video of that, Chris. I want to see that. Yeah. Okay. I'm going. Thank you all. Sorry about all the wiring shenanigans. I'll let you all know in a week or month what decision I made. Gyroscope and a single button. Yeah, no. Anyway, courier. Bye everyone. Thanks for joining. Catch you all next week, hopefully. Okay, where's my... There it is. Okay, bye.